Right, hello, welcome to a little bonus edition video for the Pink and YouTube channel. Dave Freezer here, joined by Adam Pendlebury from the Progress with Unity podcast, who cover Wigan throughout the season. Adam, thanks very much for joining us. I know you guys have got a lot on your plate at the moment. I think that the whole of football's feeling sorry for you. But so as things stand at the moment, you guys are just waiting to hear the appeal and things like that.
Yeah, obviously two big issues. One, we're waiting to hear the result of the 12-point appeal. And I think linked to that, then obviously we're looking to find a new owners. But with that uncertainty about what division we're going to be in, I can't see the takeover going through until we know what's actually happening with that. So they're the two big issues. Obviously players galore are leaving, but at the end of the day, the main thing is that we have a club to support next season. That's the priority.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, our hearts certainly go out to all Wigan fans at the moment. It's such a shame after that run of form.
The football community have sort of rallied behind us. We've had a lot of donations to our sort of crowdfunding sites as well. So we've done well.
Great stuff. And Paul Cook was a Norwich player briefly as well, so it's good to see him doing well. But I guess this sort of ties nicely in from a Norwich perspective with Kieran Dowell signing, but it seems like he was a fairly big part of that decent run of form, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it was funny because we signed him on loan in January. He made his debut in the cup match against Leicester and didn't really do anything. He struggled a bit in his first 3 or 4 matches and then got injured and pretty much was out for the season. But obviously, with lockdown, he was available again as we came out of for the restart. And again got off to a slow start, but I'd say the last sort of 5 or 6 games really did come good. Obviously the highlight being his hat-trick in the 8-0 win against Hull. But his general performances over the course of that period of time have been very strong, very consistent. And you can see he's got a talent. He's come through at a very, very good club there. And I think it's just one of those, sometimes some players take a little bit longer to mature. But I think at championship level, I think he's a decent player. I'm not sure about stepping up to Prem, but in the championship, I think he'll be a good signing.
He's still young as well, isn't he? So I guess he said in his quotes that he still hopes he's got sort of more development to come and things like that. But in terms of where he sort of fitted into the team, I mean, he looks like he's sort of a playmaker, traditional number 10, that sort of player, is he?
Yeah, I think he struggled at the start because I think because of other personnel that we had in place, he was playing wide a bit. And these players sometimes, they don't get into the game much if they're wide. Whereas if they're in that kind of number 10 position, they can kind of sort of pick that ball up on the half turn, which he likes doing, and then he does see a pass very quickly. Now, I think one of the problems, I guess, with Wigan at the start was the fact that maybe he wasn't getting those runners in, but our wide players have come good. Kiefer Moore has improved a lot, so he was playing. The runs were being made. So if you've got a striker who makes runs, say obviously Pukki, I don't know whether you're going to hold on to Pukki or not, but if you do, I think he could work very well, just behind him and link up well. I know you've got other personnel who maybe would be challenging for that role, but personally, I think that's where he has to play, either as a forward in a 3-man midfield or just behind a striker. I think if you put him out wide, I think he becomes anonymous, really. He's not like one of those who's going to get to the byline and put crosses in. So for me, if you can work him in somewhere centrally into your team, I think he'll do a good job for you.
Yeah, and Norwich tend to play a 4-2-3-1, so that sort of central attacking midfield role could well suit him. I mean, if they were to keep hold of Todd Cantwell and Emi Buendia and play them either side of him, then that's a pretty decent threat. But
and to be fair, he does. If you've got a couple of good, strong, solid midfielders alongside him, like Morsey and Williams was superb for Wigan in post-lockdown. And if you've got 2 quality players at the side of him, he can then just go and do his bit. The other thing as well about him, which surprised me, is the fact that his work rate was superb. So he's happy if you do a press, he's happy to be up there helping with the press as well. So he's not like one of those luxury players that sometimes in a number 10 who don't want to do the work. He looks like he's willing to work as well. So if you want to play that style and you want to press, stop teams playing it out from the back, then I think he can play a big part in the more defensive side of it as well.
Yeah, he's got a bit of size on his side as well, hasn't he? So he's probably not going to get pushed around just because he's got all that championship experience already there. I guess you mentioned that the hat-trick against Hull, that must have been a pretty sort of weird but memorable day for you guys. Do you feel like Dowell was sort of taken to the hearts of Wigan fans?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I mean, there was a bit of I think even the first couple of games after lockdown, there was a bit of a debate about whether he should be playing. But I think a lot of players were like that. I think it took a lot of players a little bit of time to get back into it. They haven't played football in whatever 3 or 4 months. I spotted something in him. I thought this guy, he's got something that's what I call a championship and a half player, where they don't quite have it for the Premier League, but they see things that maybe players in your average championship player doesn't. And I spotted that. And I think as he started to get used to the other players and how the runs that they were making, he could pick them out. So I think he became a lot of fans really did take to him sort of from about maybe game 3 or 4 after lockdown. The last 5 or 6 matches, he was super. Probably a couple of man of the match performances, and obviously his hat trick's the obvious one, but he had a good game against Fulham in the last game of the season against a quality opposition. I guess they're the sides what he needs to play well against in order to, if you want to be a side that's pushing for promotion, you need your best players to play well in the big games. So, yeah, and his goals were, I don't know if you've seen the third goal he scored.
Yeah, it was brilliant, wasn't it?
But I'm sure if you scout just saw that goal, I'm sure that on its own would be something that would attract you to it, because it takes a quality player to score that type of goal. But then his other goals as well, just how quickly he can shift the ball and get the shot away early. And as we well know, if you can shoot early, it often puts the goalkeeper in a difficult position. So yeah, I like him. I think you probably need to give him a bit of time. It depends how patient the fans are. I know it's always difficult when you come down from the Premier League, because I think inevitably fans think that you should be pushing for promotion, but often there's quite a lot of changes, aren't there? Some players have to go, and if you expect him to maybe sort of be the star player in the first 2 or 3 games, I don't think you'd get that from him. I get the impression that he needs to grow into a side really a little bit more. But if you give him a bit of time, I think he could do a good job for you.
Yeah, well, I think Norwich fans have had to get used to being patient just because of the way they play under Farke. They're playing out from the back, and it's possession football. So it's been a bit of an education for quite a lot of Norwich fans during his time in charge. But well, that's really interesting. Just finally, then it's good to hear you talking about his sort of creative side of it as well, because you always have to be wary of supercuts on YouTube, don't you? But you watch that and you see he's obviously happy to pull the trigger quite quickly from the edge of the box, which is a good asset. But you need to have the full package as well, not just be able to shoot from range, don't you?
Yeah, I think if you're just a shooter, I think eventually good players get wise to it, and they don't give you that space. You have to be able to, also sometimes feign to shoot and maybe play that pass in. If you've got good wide players as well, he can bring, or fullbacks in particular, he's good at getting, because Wigan's fullbacks love to push on. So he was quite good at getting them into the game as well. So he's good at bringing your better players into the game, but obviously can take you by the scruff of the neck himself if you need to, and got to put a good quality shot in. And he also seems pretty good with both feet, from what I can tell. So yeah, I think he can contribute a number of different aspects to Norwich next season.
Great stuff. Well, you sold him to me. It's definitely worth giving him a chance.
Yeah, we'll give him all a chance. To be honest, in my view, we were the best team in the Championship after lockdown. So, and he played all the games in it. So you can't, if you're playing that well, you can't carry a player, can you? So he's clearly contributed something to that run of form.
Yeah, he got nominated for Player of the Month as well, didn't he? Championship Player of the Month. So,
yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I think Norwich fans are just pleased to have signed somebody who they know, because quite often they sign players from abroad who we all have to scurry off and research who they are. But
well, to be fair though, I don't think many people had heard of Pukki.
Quite, yeah, including me when he signed, despite having 60 appearances for Finland or whatever it was when he signed. So, yeah, They have they've had a few misfires with their scouting, but they have had some real successes as well. So it'll be interesting to see. But if you guys are interested in following the Wigan situation, then the Progress of Unity pod is at PWU Podcast on Twitter, where you can listen to Adam and the guys, and it's well worth following. And just finally, Adam, thanks for coming on, and we'll keep our fingers crossed for you to see whether that appeal works out for you.
Yeah, and obviously good luck for next season, hopefully. And if we don't win our points appeal, we'll try and give Ipswich a good beating for you.
Nice one, cheers.